Hi, this is Deacon Larry, and this is Renewed. We'd like to introduce you to some of the folks who have been in this journey with us here at St. Theresa. What we know in their life story is everyone will tell you in some way. This is about how I have been renewed.
My name is Zach Miller, or Zachary as my mom and only her calls me. I'm a teacher currently in the Houston area. I teach with Yes Prep charter schools, and I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. I've been in Houston now for about, I'd say, 2.5 years, and it's been a great experience so far. I've loved every moment of it. I'm currently engaged to my fiance, and she was in Houston before I came down here. We met in Ohio in college, and she came down here to teach before I came down, and I promised her that if it worked out for her that I'd come down also, and lo and behold, here I am. So while she was down here, she was raised Catholic, a very traditional Catholic upbringing. So she instantly came down here and she wanted to find a parish. Well, she went around, looked at some of the different churches, looked at several of the different parishes, and finally she settled on St. Theresa after having it recommended to her by our friend Olivia, who actually ended up becoming my sponsor very recently at my confirmation. My upbringing probably could not have been more different. I was baptized Catholic, and that is the only sacrament that I received as a young child growing up. And the only reason that I received that sacrament was that it was my dad's mother's dying wish that I actually get baptized. So me and my cousin, who was born a month after me, we were both baptized at the same time at the same church in my hometown of Toledo, Ohio. So other than that though, my upbringing was very secular. Probably could count on one hand the amount of times that I attended a church as a young adult before actually becoming an adult and experiencing St. Teresa's parish. I tell everybody this at RCIA, I feel like the moment that I came to the church and the moment that I was really open to it was, I truly felt like I had found something that had been missing in my life for a long time. Not just a purpose, but also a sense of community, to be more than just an individual, to identify with something more than just myself, to identify with a cause that's global, and to also have more of a local community that is, it's nice to come to church and see the same people every day, to see the same kids and whatnot. So it has been one of the biggest blessings of my life to have come back to the Catholic Church and to have gotten to experience this. It truly was something that was missing in my life. I know it's easy to say this now in hindsight, but I really wish I would have been more open to joining the church or to experiencing this at a younger age. I was always curious about religion at a young age, but growing up in my household, it wasn't something that was necessarily supported. Like if I wanted to go to church, I would have probably had to have found my own way to have gotten there, and I would have had to have sitting there through the entire Mass by myself. It's not something where I had the support of my family to go there. It has been overwhelmingly supportive. They have not really had anything negative to say about it. They're not opposed to me exploring my own religion or whatnot. I think that they just had their own negative upbringings with religion throughout their own lives, especially my father. He was raised in a Methodist church as a young man, and I know he saw a lot of prejudice there, and I think it's impacted his perspective on organized religion. But since I've went on this journey, it has been nothing but support from them. I've never once heard them try to diminish it. I've never once heard them try to put it down. And as a matter of fact, they both actually were there supporting me at my confirmation and at my first communion. So that actually meant the world to me, to go from where we were to where we are now and know that they do support me in this journey. The biggest thing I would say to someone who wants to start on their own faith journey is to just not be off-put. I think early on especially, you might hear like one little thing, or you might see one particular thing about like Catholic social teaching that you don't agree with. And my biggest thing is I wouldn't write off an entire institution, an entire faith just because of one little thing. Because I know early on for me, there were things that I questioned, things that I didn't necessarily agree with. But as I was able to talk with more educated church scholars like the deacons here, it really helped me to understand that. I think especially growing up in like a Western society, we have this idea that like we all understand what Christianity is. But what I found was I have this very surface level understanding of what Christianity is. And then once you get past that, you realize there is so much more there that you never even scratched the surface of. So I think that's the biggest thing, is don't be off-put by one little thing that you might disagree with on the church. Just keep praying on it, talk to people who are more educated on it than you, people who are wiser than you, and just be open to what it is that they have to say, because that was the biggest thing for me.
Please like, subscribe, or comment below.